minutes and 45 seconds into a muted mic. Jesus. Lots of technical difficulties today. Well, let's find out if something is going right now. Am I streaming? Please stream. Okay. Thank God I'm streaming. Oh, thank God. Okay, that's one thing out of the way. The second thing is I just botched the intro. So you've just been staring at a screen. Um, anyway, for the third time and the final time, um, because I'm out of time, good evening, Europe, and good afternoon, North America. This is the 5th of July, 2015, and this is European Division A, Black Spikes, Orange Sky versus Ninth Blood and Fire. Um, and they are already in, so I'm sorry, Proton. Oh, I will have to. Come on. There we go. I have to cut the intro short because they're already in match. In-game settings, turn on the scene switcher so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Oh my goodness, the technical difficulties. This first drop is the reconnaissance drop, 4 lights, 4 mediums. In blue we have Black Spikes, Orange Sky. And in red we have the away team, Ninth Blood and Fire. So it seems for Ninth Blood and Fire we have a Stormcrow, 2 Griffin 2 Ins, and an Enforcer for the mediums, 2 Fire Starters, a Jenner, and an Adder for their lights. As far as Orange Sky goes, we've got an Oxide, 2 Fire Starters, a Huggin, Shadowhawk, 2 Griffins, and a Stormcrow for their drop deck. So it looks like they are just trading over this plane right now. UAV up for Ninth Blood and Fire. And we have Black Spikes pushing in, so now we have just a full-on engagement. And now it's become a blender of souls. Shadowhawk for... Wait. Wow! 2 down for Black Skies already, 1 down for Ninth Blood and Fire. 3 down. It's 2-3 right now, still in favor of Ninth Blood and Fire. Ninth Blood and Fire really going for the legs. 2-5.
Target destroyed.
2-6. Wow. Excellent game. Street Crow doing work. Cafang's the last to stand. I know that wasn't the best commentary, but I'm just glad it's out there. My goodness. Blood pressure's through the roof. And Ninth Blood and Fire takes the first game 8-3. Wow. To be honest, I thought Black Spikes, ugh, too many colors and S words. Anyway, Black Spikes was going to be favored, but just judging from that first game, I'm not so sure anymore. So the score is now 380,000 Ninth Blood and Fire, 30,000 Black Spikes. Okay, bring up friends list. Bring up maps bring up Forest Colony Snow and GIMP. Okay. Black Spikes in blue, and Ninth Blood and Fire in red. Ninth Blood and Fire spawning left hand side, Black Spikes spawning right. So, very first, Ninth Blood and Fire staged at this little outcrop right there. Don't don't scare me like that. The overlay was down. Anyway, Ninth Blood and Fire staged right behind this outcrop where Black Spikes just charged in, really. Pushed very, very hard. They just got into a brawl. Ninth Blood and Fire came out on top. Um, Early lead 3-1. And from there, Black Spikes was just, whew, gotta catch my breath a little bit. Um, Black Spikes was just outbrawled, plain and simple. Second match, second drop is on Tourmaline. So that's the Recon in Force, 2 lights, 4 mediums, and 2 heavies. Um, no restrictions on ECM this time. Uh, and while we are waiting for the next match to start up, I'll go ahead and just give a little overview of what MRBC is for those of you not familiar with it. MRBC, Round Robin League, takes about 6 weeks for everyone to play everyone else twice. And each match is 5 separate drops with different drop weights and different uh, different objectives. In drop 3, Commander Assassination, you have to protect your Highlander while killing the other one. Flank Engagement and Center of Battle, the 2 heaviest drops, will actually uh yeah, Flank Engagement probably is heavier than Commander Assassination. But anyway, if you kill the or if you take down the assaults and the heavies of the opposing team, get an extra 50,000 C bills. That's the third time I've gone over this today. Uh, about 15 minutes before the match started, I started up the stream. And when there's a 5 minute delay, you start the stream, you're talking and stuff, and you have to wait because you're not streaming yet. There's a 5 minute buffer to fill up before your computer starts sending stuff to Twitch. After that 5 minutes came up, it disconnected. It was unable to connect to Twitch. The worst feeling there because you have to start the 5 minute timer over again. As far as my experience goes, there's been no reconnecting with a 5 minute delay. So I had to try it again. And it didn't work. And third time's the charm, at least. Um, but right before the match, I realized that my mic was muted. So I was just talking for 5 minutes before I realized I had to unmute the mic. Anyway, uh, enough on that. Tourmaline Desert is the next drop up. I would say this map is more suited for long range trading, but we've certainly seen a lot of good brawls go on as well. So it really does remain to be seen how each team will take the map. So now at this point we're just waiting. Both teams are in lobby right now, so it shouldn't be that much longer until they drop. Discard changes. Whew. And if any of you want to open up another Twitch stream, I'm sure that there's other games being played. Well, there are other games right now. I'm sure some of them are being streamed. Right now, we also have. Let me bring up the scheduled matches. So right now, we've got Antares Scorpions EU second team going up against the Tikhonov Commonality Armed Forces um, Team 2. We have Black Spikes Team 2, the Yellow Submarine, going up against Tikhonov Commonality Team 1. And we also have 228th IBR Golden Talons going up against Strata Merc Corps. So all four of those matches, or all four of these matches, are scheduled for right now. Uh, and I see Poopenshire deployed in game right now, so I'm sure the Antares Scorpions EU2 is being played right now. And if there was a way to do picture-in-picture or something like that with multiple uh, multiple spectator modes. Oh, and we have dropped. So, second match, Recon and Force 2420. This is Black Spike's Orange Sky versus the Ninth Blood and Fire. Ninth Blood and Fire leading 1-0. Black Spikes is in blue again. Ninth Blood and Fire is in red. So, for Ninth Blood and Fire, we have a Wolverine, a Gridiron, a Stormcrow. Two Gridirons. So, these are certainly going to be long-range traders, especially with that large laser Wolverine 6K. For the light and heavy lance, we have two fire starters, a Timberwolf and a Hellbringer. Those are certainly the most commonly used heavies in this drop, especially with the Hellbringer with its ECM. Now for Black Spikes, we have a Shadowhawk, Hellbringer, Stormcrow, and Wolverine for the medium lance. Two Raven 2Xs for the lights, Wolverine and Timberwolf bringing up the back. So, and we already have the two teams trading at distance. So very, very similar drop decks. The only differences are the lights and trading out a couple of mediums. But very, very similar in composition and in strategy, what they want to do. Both of them look very, very long range. Large Laser Wolverine for Black Spikes. Large Laser Shadowhawk. Gauss Rifle and ER mediums for the Hellbringer. Excuse me. And Black Spikes is starting to push, darting in and out of these little valleys, using them as cover, while Ninth Blood and Fire sitting back and actually being distracted by these two Ravens. These Ravens are large laser Ravens, whereas the fire starters are up close and personal. Black Spikes taking down the UAV that Ninth Blood and Fire left for them. So Ninth Blood and Fire not exactly ready for this push. Black Spikes swinging around, just doing a drive-by. They do have another UAV up, so they do see where everyone is. Ninth Blood and Fire having to fall back a little bit. No one in particular is really being focused too well, but they're trading pretty heavily. It certainly looks Gridiron is in bad shape. Sandling. Oh, nope. Page up, because that's the hotkey. Sandling, 39%.
Online.
Gauss rifle is exploded, and he only has a medium pulse laser left to his name. So even though none have been KO'd, he's been... Oh, there... Oh, now he's been KO'd. Never mind.
Acquired.
Black Spikes takes the first kill for the game.
Center torso.
Cafangst. Let's get on Cafangst in his Timberwolf. He's certainly doing work.
Target acquired. Target
4-2,
destroyed.
5-2
Target
in favor of Black Spikes.
fuel at 25%. Heat level critical.
5-4. Ninth Blood and Fire have
New target
evened this up a little bit, but
Fuel at
that Gridiron
25%.
is completely
Fuel at
stripped. Might as well
0%.
be 6-4 at
New
the moment.
target acquired.
So it's only the fire starters left in this.
Target destroyed.
Oh, wow.
New target
Kaboom.
acquired.
Well,
Level
that's
critical.
that. And the only one left
Target
is
destroyed.
Gaceras. And for the second game, Black Spikes ties it back up 1-1. So, Cafangst. Not the highest damage of the match. Those fire starters really did some work for the Ninth Blood and Fire, especially when the brawl happened, but Black Spikes was able to distract them with large laser ravens off to their flank, and then just take them down with good long-range trading. So yeah, go to score screen. So that's going to be 41. This is going to be 42. Very, very close. Only a single kill separating the two teams right now. And Tourmaline Desert, edit with GIMP. The Gridirons were not XL. They were just pretty stripped after losing Gauss. Oh, no, I wanted to edit with GIMP, not preview. There we go. Oh. Two of them. Okay, never mind. So, let's see. This is about where Black Spikes, Spikes and Skies. Why do they do this to me? Anyway, Black Spikes up north. Ninth Blood and Fire down south. Now, Ninth Blood and Fire originally set up shop right about here, whereas Black Spikes took this position right here, and they traded a little bit. Black Spikes sent their ravens around here, and as they were sending their lights around that way, they also started pushing up through the center. Ninth Blood and Fire uh, pushed up, causing Ninth Blood and Fire to Black Spikes pushed up, causing Ninth Blood and Fire to retreat into, I would certainly say, a less organized firing line. Right here, with some people facing that way and some people facing the main force because these ravens were over uh, in their flank, firing that way. And from that point on, Black Spikes just pushed in, and we had a big fight here, and it was messy and it was good. So, excellent, excellent game, and we'll be moving on to the Commander Assassination match on Caustic Valley. Caustic. There we go. So this one's three mediums, four heavies, and a single Highlander. And that Highlander is your drop commander. You protect your Highlander. If you protect your Highlander, 50,000 extra sea bells. So it's not a bad deal. And we are still waiting. So they're still in lobby. So in chat, they're talking about the Hunchback 2C. Uh, I'll just say this: Hunchback, in comparing 2C to the Gridiron, the 2C can do double Gauss rifles. That'll just be my comment on the Hunchback 2C. Double Gauss. So no matter how fast the Gridiron can fire that Gauss rifle, I don't think it's doubled it. And unless you are an excellent shot, you're not going to hit the exact same spot twice. You might hit the same component. I can give you that. But 30 points of damage compared to 15 points twice. Yeah, the 2C's gonna. I think 2C's gonna be a bit better. Clan XL can be used. Just as a reminder, there are three other matches going on right now. Antara Scorpions 2, EU second team versus Tikhonov Commonality Team 2. Black Spikes Team 2 versus Tikhonov Commonality Team 1. And 228th IBR Golden Talons versus Strata Merc Corps. So, in between matches, if you want to find someone like let's see who else is streaming right now. see, following Mech Warrior. Actually, it only looks like one other stream is being. One other game is being streamed. You can see Kafangst, uh, his viewpoint. But there's one other MRBC match going on Twitch. And they've dropped onto game 3. Right now, it's all tied up, 1-1. The only thing differentiating the scores is a single kill. So this will certainly catapult one team into the lead as far as this match goes. So we still a gridiron for Ninth Blood and Fire, Stormcrow. Let's take a quick look at Black Spikes. Kafangst and the Highlander 732B, the most heavily armored assault in the game. A natural choice. 2 Cataphract 3Ds. Stormcrow for their assault and medium lance. And 2 Wolverine 6Ks, Timberwolf, and a Hellbringer for their heavy lance. For Ninth Blood and Fire, moving into this lake area, we have Cataphract Gridiron, Cataphract Highlander, another Highlander 732B. And the other lance is a Gridiron, Hellbringer, Stormcrow, and Timberwolf. Now yesterday we saw Mercstar Star League Reborn try to take this place, but they sat back there and were absolutely annihilated by Antara Scorpions. Here we have Ninth Blood and Fire going across the lake and moving up the hill. Black Spikes, only a single Stormcrow out in the middle. The rest taking cover around the rim of the caldera. And their heavy lance gets flanked by Ninth Blood and Fire. Ninth Blood and Fire continuing to rotate around the map, dropping UAVs. I wouldn't exactly call this a long-range build. Large pulse lasers, AC-5 and a UAC-5. That's certainly very brawly. So Ninth Blood and Fire want to close the distance between the two. Losing an arm and a torso. Certainly doesn't want to be hit like that again. That could cost the team 50,000 C-bills if he goes down. Ninth Blood and Fire moving through the caldera, swinging around, and moving on top of Black Spikes. Black Spikes in the middle of the plains, focusing down their Highlander.
Airstrike
So
online. Target destroyed. Right torso critical damage.
2-2, 3-2.
Left torso critical damage. Light. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
So right now, Ninth Blood is leading
Critical.
3-5.
Right torso critical damage.
7-3.
Heat
Wow.
level critical. Target
Oh, no.
destroyed.
I apologize. I got the teams backwards because you can never trust what you see exactly up there. Black Spikes takes this 8-3. Cafanx was piloting the Highlander. He survived, so Black Spikes gets an extra 50,000 C-bills. Not too shabby. And I know I say this pretty much every single time, but cannot reiterate how much I cannot wait for that spectator mode to go up. I'm not feeling very mathy today, so I'm just going to use my calculator. Black Spikes up to 840. Blood and Fire. Oh, 50. 450. Okay. Third drop is the flank engagement this week on Frozen City. Open up the friends list and back to match results. So right now Black Spikes is leading 2-1. And open up Caustic Valley. Let's see. Spawn 1, spawn 2, and spawn 1, spawn 2. Just abouts. Now very quickly, Black Spikes took this hill area, while Ninth Blood and Fire very quickly as well moved through the lake. As Ninth Blood was moving up through the lake, the other lance from Black Spikes sort of taking cover up in here and sending some people to chase. Now, there was a complete rotation from Blood and Fire, forcing Black Spikes out onto these plains area. And I want to say that the positioning of Blood and Fire at that time was advantageous. But a little bit of mispiloting, I would say, on the drop commander's side for Ninth Blood poking up and getting absolutely focused down, losing a torso, and getting crit CT. That was certainly not a good trade for Ninth Blood and Fire. So when Ninth Blood and Fire pushed onto Black Spikes, they were weakened and didn't win. So I do like the movement and positioning of Blood and Fire in this match, but there's some tactical errors that they made um, that allowed Black Spikes to take the day. Anyway, if you excuse me, I'm going to grab a drink very quickly and I'll be right back. They're all still in lobby, so don't worry, you're not missing anything. That was everyone's 4th of July. Lots of explosions, patriotism, and shit like that. Of course, I'm just talking to nothing. The chat won't react for another 5 minutes. I don't know. I feel like I should just be talking about shit, but I'm not very talkative today. Not to mention that I had to talk for 10, 15 minutes. That never got through. So I'll let the games do the talking. Excellent, excellent piloting work. And they have dropped. Here we go. Fourth match. This is the flank engagement 2222 on Frozen City. We already see Calf Angst and a King Crab. This should be fun. Direwolf and Atlas for the assaults on Ninth Blood and Fire. 2 Thunderbolts for their heavies. And in the city, we have Firestarter, Spider, Stormcrow, and Griffin. Now, for Black Spikes, we have King Crab and a Direwolf for their assaults. Timberwolf and Mad Dog. What are you doing in a Mad Dog 1911?
Fuel at
1911, where are you?
target.
Where are you, 1911? There you are. That is a splat dog if I've ever seen one. If anyone gets in front of him, they're not going to be ended up well. And already we have the match, the engagement proper. BS, I'm sorry, pushing straight over that ridge and into a waiting Ninth Blood and Fire. Atlas already focused down for Ninth Blood and Fire, and wow, very, very quickly, it's already 5-1. Black Spikes was looking for a brawl, and they found it. 6-1, Black Spikes. It's just the lights left now. Wow, this is, oh, Duncan McLeod. Duncan McLeod did get one more kill before going down, but that did not last very long. When number 3 goes to Black Spikes, and an extra 50,000 for destroying all the heavies and assaults on Ninth Blood and Fire. Wow. 2 dead. 2 dead. Wow. Cathanks getting top damage in that King Crab. Unfortunately, we weren't able to see much of his gameplay. Jeez. When brawls happen, they just happen fast. For match results, plus 430. So, 1 to 70 for Black Spikes, and 470,000 for Ninth Blood and Fire. That was brutal. Brutal on both teams' accounts. But very simply, heavy lance, lighter lance for Ninth Blood. Not exactly sure where these guys spawned down here, but they very quickly moved to the downed airship ridge. Down dropship, I should say. Ninth Blood and Fire tried to get set up here, but very, very quickly, Black Spikes pushed straight over the ridge and just vaporized. Just absolute Hulk smash. And that, they do say the best defense is a good offense. It's just, you don't need to defend if you're punching the guy in the face, and he can't do anything about it. Very, very quick game. So far, those games have been the quickest on Frozen City. Let's see. So we're looking at Crimson Strait for the last drop. Now this is the center of battle. This is 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults. Very, very, very heavy drop. But this is on Crimson Strait. So there are opportunities to have a more long-range focused deck. We've certainly seen Imperial take the now this is in Major League Mech War. Imperial took the island and just denied it from Is it QQ? Trying to remember now. Anyway, they just took the island and were able to outrange the other team quite handily. But we've also seen very, very brawly decks go into the city, especially on that north side of the island, and draw out a fight that way. So, could go either way uh, with how this match plays out. But I certainly expect it to be longer than 30 seconds. Oh, whoops, I just noticed. Did I just say 1.2? Yes, I did. Needs a comma there. There we go. OCD satisfied. For now. And while we're waiting, I do have some music up and ready to go. So, might as well listen to that. looks like they are dropping. Here we go. The final game for MRBC Week 2 EU Division A. Black Spikes Orange Sky versus Ninth Blood and Fire. That was a mouthful. This is the center of battle. 2 lights, 2 heavies, and 4 assaults. This is bring your biggest, baddest guns and beat the crap out of your enemy. So it seems that Ninth Blood and Fire has elected to not use the Alpha spawn point. They're going to be spawning on the island and the tip of the peninsula up north. Quick look at their drop deck. We see Timberwolf, Firestarter, Jenner for their lights, and a Summoner. Interesting choice. For their Assault Lance, we have 2 King Crabs, a Direwolf, and a Banshee. Now for Black Spikes, we have 2 Raven 2X's. We saw them earlier for their lights. They're the large laser builds, so very long, very annoying, very long range, I should say. For the heavies, we have a Timberwolf and a Thunderbolt. For the assaults, we have Stalker, King Crab, Direwolf, and Warhawk. Also interesting, wanted to bring that extra clan assault that wasn't terrible. The only other clan assault being available to this tournament is the Gargoyle. And yeah, I don't think you'd see that much at all. Firestarter and Jenner on the mountain, scouting out for Ninth Blood and Fire. And we're starting to see some strikes. Now, there are no strikes allowed except for the 4th and 5th drops. But we didn't see very much of them last game just because it lasted so short. Sandling and the King Crab taking some heavy damage from the assaults on... Oh. Timberwolf sneaking behind the line of Ninth Blood and Fire, absolutely drilling into the back of that King Crab. Now the assaults of Ninth Blood and Fire are not faring too well. They are just caught between 2 different firing lines, but they have cleaned up the first of the Black Spike's assault. Now moving on to what was behind them. Now Black Spikes has moved out into the bay. Calfangst and his King Crab all the way over here. What are you doing? Ah, he's using Gauss rifles. That's why he's just sitting over here. Ninth Blood and Fire pretty much surrounded at this point.
Artillery strike online.
Got a dual Gauss King Crab on one side and a bunch of other assaults on the other. Now, let's see if we can find that Summoner. SRMs all over the place. You don't want to get close to this one.
Acquired. Heat level critical. New target acquired.
Calfangst getting surrounded by the lights from Ninth Blood and Fire. He won't be doing any sniping anytime soon. Thunderbolt goes down for Ninth Blood and Fire. Now it's just the Summoner and the lights. The Summoner versus Lights and the King Crab versus Lights. Very, very close game. Oh, and the Summoner is out of ammo.
Critical damage.
So all the Summoner is doing now was just distracting the Ravens from Black Spikes. And he had an arm for a bit longer than he had a torso. Interesting.
Fuel at 0%.
So it's only a matter of time until these ravens whittle
Critical
down
damage.
a summoner, but
Heat level critical.
it'll be interesting to see what happens once these two lights get into it. These ravens are certainly very long-range pokers, large lasers. Oh, that Jenner is stripped. So the only fighting mech for Ninth Blood and Fire is, well, 4 medium pulse laser remaining Firestarter. So tactically, I would, well, the Jenner's been legged in the fight against Calf Angst. Firestarter doesn't know that the ravens are right behind him. Just missing them. The Jenner going off to hide. Ravens will find him very, very shortly. At this point, it's hide and seek. Oh no! Raven's going up into the city and missing Gas Your Ass and his Jenner. So now we have hide and seek for keeps. 2 large laser ravens versus a very close range Firestarter. Oh. Huh. Warhawk, Direwolf. Just go in here. Let's see. So I'm being oh, seems the Jenner has been found and is no longer a Jenner. But okay. So it seems that drop 4 will actually be invalidated and redropped, as Black Spikes had 4 clan mechs instead of 3. There is a 3 clan mech restriction. I did not catch that. So, thank you, Mr. Petzold. So, they'll redrop that, and I will update the score to reflect that as well when we get back out. Now, Duncan MacLeod knows where the Ravens are, as they had found the Jenner that was hiding over here. He's on his way. Oh man, will they catch him? Catch him coming up behind him. 6 minutes remaining. I don't think we'll be waiting all the 6 minutes, but Duncan McLeod going back under the garage. Jumping into Duncan McLeod's cockpit because he's the pilot that will determine the game.
New target acquired.
And we have contact.
New target acquired. Right leg critical damage. New target acquired. Left leg critical damage.
Raven's taking out one leg, followed by the other. Fifth match goes to Black Spikes. 8-6. Very close. Actually, both teams will be getting the 50,000 C-Bill bonus because all of the assaults and heavies were taken out on both teams. It was only the lights remaining. Now, don't go anywhere because, as Mr. Petzold has just told me, we are redropping Drop 4 on Frozen City. It seems that Black Spikes unintentionally had an infraction and brought too many clan mechs. So, back to Frozen City. But first, I will recalculate the scores. So on 30 plus 80 plus 80 plus 50 plus 80 plus 50 plus 300 plus 300 plus 300. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Black Spikes is still at 1.27 million C-bills. And Ninth Blood and Fire will be at plus 9 from here. So, should be that. 380. Yes, 560. And back to here. Before the final drop, bring up the map. Okay, Ninth Blood and Fire spawning, or dropping on the island and the peninsula where Black Spikes dropped on the east side. Black Spikes mainly moved up. Ninth Blood and Fire joined up and started going over this way. But there was a contingent that went water around where Ninth Blood and Fire had pushed into. So the assault mechs that were set up firing line down here, they were eventually taken out by Ninth Blood and Fire, but not before the rest had flanked them. fighting had broken out, splitting up. Black Spikes, Calf Angst is caught in the back here, and while the lights took out Calf Angst from Ninth Blood and Fire, the rest of the heavies and assaults took out the rest. Oh, the lights from Black Spikes took out the summoner that was here, who was out of ammo. um, very close game. Um, that's actually the first time I've seen in this season of MRBC. Too many letters. Anyway, um, it's the first time I've seen both teams get the 50,000 C-Bill bonus. It was only the lights left, and Calf Angst almost took out the two lights himself. Certainly almost took out the Jenner, stripped both of his arms and a single leg. Uh, but he was taken out by half of a fire starter. Um, if I already I wasn't watching Calf Angst, but I'm sure that he was expecting the fire starter to die when he took out the side torso, but it was a standard engine fire starter. Not a build that I've run myself, but I certainly do enjoy my fire starters. Anyway, so we will be redropping drop number 4. This is flank engagement 2222 on Frozen City. So same spawn points, or I should say same teams, and this I should say will be the last last game of this match. So uh interesting thing to note. If Ninth Blood and Fire's Jenner was able to hide, they would have won on damage. It would have tied 6-6. Both teams still would have gotten the 50,000 C-Bill bonus, but the 250,000 for winning would have gone to Ninth Blood and Fire. So, welcome to the stream, Calf. Now going in, Ninth Blood and Fire are getting a second chance. So seeing what Black Spikes had the first time around, first time they did drop number 4, wonder if they will either change up what they're going to do or just execute it better. It seemed Ninth Blood and Fire was a bit disorganized first time drop 4 went around, and they weren't ready for the push over the ridge. I think that was the single greatest factor the first time we went around with drop 4. It wasn't the four clan mechs. Oh, is that it? Yes, that's it. This is the 6th and final drop. Oh, it's the redrop of the 4th. For MRBC, Europe Division A, Black Spikes, Orange Sky versus Ninth Blood and Fire. I did much better last time. I did that, finishing intro much better last time. Why couldn't have we finished on game 5? So, Black Spikes bringing Adder, Griffin, Firestarter, Wolverine, Timberwolf, Direwolf, Crab, and Thunderbolt. So Direwolf, yep, 3 clan mechs, and Black Spikes has Timberwolf, Griffin, Mad Dog, Direwolf, King Crab, Shadowhawk. That was their 4th accidental clan mech. They had a Stormcrow, if I remember correctly. 2 Firestarters for the lights. Now this time, Ninth Blood and Fire aren't in this position. They are very much holed up in the upper city. Firestarter's always a knife fighter up close and personal, but it seems Ninth Blood and Fire are looking for the long game, for the long range game. And right now, both teams are trading at range. They do not want to get in front of the Mad Dog like they did last time. Orita and a Direwolf absolutely spewing AC rounds down the range. We have a small brawl. Whoo, that Timberwolf does not want to be there. Xander Peach getting caught out by a Direwolf and a King Crab. Goes down very quickly. Followed by Rapovsky in his Shadowhawk. Black Spikes now moving on to the position of the Direwolf and the King Crab from Ninth Blood and Fire, taking down the Direwolf, but falling to the King Crab. Much closer match this time. 2-3. 2-4 right now. In 2-5. In... Wow, this is very different than last time. 3-5 in favor of Ninth Blood and Fire. Calf Angst and Quad UAC 5 Crabs don't want to get in front of there. And Calf Angst Crab is the final mech to be standing.
Target acquired.
Let's see how many people he can take out before going down. It's like horde mode. Incidentally, not many. And drop 4, redrop, this time goes in favor of Ninth Blood and Fire. 3-8. Plus 50. So final score: 3, uh, Black Spikes 3, Ninth Blood and Fire 2. Excellent, excellent games. Good job, everyone. So the final score: 1.3 million Seabills, Black Spikes, Orange Sky, and 560 plus 430. So close. 990,000 for Ninth Blood and Fire. Now that was certainly a much more interesting uh, game positioning wise. It wasn't just the everyone into the center and fight. It was a little bit more calculated. This time, Ninth Blood and Fire had their heavy lance in back and medium and light lance in front, whereas uh, Black Spikes had brought the same sort of composition. They only traded out the I believe it was a Stormcrow. I'll have to go back and watch the video just to see what was their fourth clan mech, but uh, this time they only brought the Direwolf, uh, Mad Dog, and Timberwolf. I want to say it was a Stormcrow that they just straight switched out for a Shadowhawk. But this time, Black Spikes once again rushed this ridge, whereas Ninth Blood and Fire was up amongst these buildings. Um, and when the push happened, just like last time, they just came barreling over here. There was no one to receive them here. There was no one to fight here. We did have a couple of lights out scouting around here. And Black Spikes did send a fire starter down Jenner Alley down here, going around here to scout. But Ninth Blood and Fire just traded at range, just whittling down the very brawl heavy uh, Black Spikes. If I were to point to a moment in the game and say, yeah, that's probably where it was won or lost, was when Black Spikes had sent small contingent, the Timberwolf and what was it? Was it Black Spike's Direwolf that had walked in front of um, the Direwolf and King Crab of Ninth Blood and Fire and just got absolutely slammed to their side, quickly taking off the. Let's see. It was the Timberwolf. Timberwolf went down. Shadowhawk went down. Um, oh man, I will have to rewatch that. But that moment right there, when the two assaults from Ninth Blood and Fire flanked, it's interesting. You don't you don't usually hear of assaults flanking someone, but BS overextended, I would say, and that was probably the momentum shift that Ninth Blood and Fire needed. Uh, great games to both teams. Um, so, once again, nope, no, I don't want to see that. There we go. Once again, final score: Black Spikes, Orange Sky, 1.3 million Seabills. Ninth Blood and Fire, 990,000. Later tonight, we have. Let me find my post. It wasn't posted on the schedule. I had to go digging through the forums a little bit. But we have Apocalypse Lancers versus SIG tonight at 9:30 Eastern. So I will be casting that match, and I hope to see you then. But until then, See you on the battlefield.